Hi everyone, welcome to Constructing Leadership Brick by Brick. I'm Ellie and this is episode 2. Today's model is one that I have really enjoyed putting together, along with the link into leadership and the themes that we're going to explore today. And I want to look at it from different perspectives. So I'm going to split this over 2 episodes. If you enjoy today's, please pop back in a couple of weeks' time for part 2. So today's model is the band, and specifically this is Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats, who I was fortunate enough to go and see at the Roundhouse in London a few weeks back when they were on their UK tour. Anybody that knows the band will understand what I mean when I say high energy, big noise, just awesome to be a part of. If you don't know the band, there are some links in the description below. Have a look. It may not be your style of music, but if you keep an open mind and apply the themes that we talk about today, you can understand why they are an inspiration in leadership and teamwork. Okay, so I can understand where you're maybe thinking, Ellie, you went to a concert, great, what is this anything to do with leadership? But let's look at the band as a high-performing team with a shared goal. And I understand that we use team a lot, we overuse it, and it can be, we kind of feel a bit saturated by it. But this is a genuine team that works. The audience are the customer base, it's your clientele, it's your subordinates, it's those people that are affected by the end outcome and influenced by the end outcome without any direct input into the decision making and product development. So rather than going through a chronological history of the Night Sweats, we're going to break it down into leadership themes. So let's start with vision. Every great leader has a vision of what they want to achieve. Even if you're working on the smallest of projects, if you don't have a vision, you're not really going to get too far. Okay, so Nathaniel Rateliff, as a solo artist, produced a very specific sound. But actually one day he decided he wanted to produce a different sound, but recognised he couldn't do it on his own, so he needed to build the Night Sweats to support that vision. So let's bring in Joseph Pope III, who is somebody that Nathaniel Rateliff has worked with a lot. They've known each other a long time, they've been in a band together before, and they understand each other. But not only that, but Joseph Pope III realised that, in terms of band leadership, perhaps Nathaniel Rateliff was slightly underconfident. So over time he's, supported him, coached him, mentored him, until actually the confidence was there for Nathaniel Rateliff to step into that role. The next person then logically to talk about would be Patrick Meese, the drummer. But not only is he a talented musician, he does music production, and he's done that for Nathaniel Rateliff on some of his solo work. And because they know each other again, it's that experience of working together. Patrick Meese knew when to be able to push Nathaniel Rateliff and when to step back and allow him space to reflect and develop. And actually that highlights our responsibility as members of a team. Actually, whilst we're there to work for a leader and with a leader, and we will apply pressure, we also need to know when to step back. We need to know when that leader needs a break. So the next thing to look at would be lifelong learning in leadership, okay? And this is demonstrated through Nathaniel Rateliff's attitude to working with people that are more skilled than him and recognising where he's got a shortfall. We're often threatened by people that appear to know more than us or have different experiences or are more skilled than us. It's ego. We don't like the idea that we might appear weak or that somebody might look better than us. But actually having that ability to be open and vulnerable and say, please help me and develop me, is actually a great strength. And this is demonstrated in the bringing in of Luke Mossman to the Night Sweats. He's got this experience as a jazz guitarist that Nathaniel Rateliff wanted to learn from. So let's bring that in. And it adds a different texture, and it adds added texture to the band. After that, it's about recognising that not everybody is going to be delivering the message in the same way than you. If you've got a vision that you want to put across, sometimes you have to deliver it in separate ways, but it's all while striving to achieve the same end goal. And that can be seen in the tour de force that is the horn section that is within the Night Sweats. And so you've got Andreas Wild on your tenor sax, you've got Jeff Daisy on your alto sax, and you've got Daniel Hardaway on the trumpet. And they might be stood at the back, but they are still visible. And their music, whilst a slightly different style to the main bulk of music, projects over the top. So perhaps somebody in the audience might identify with the horn section greater than, say, the keyboard or the drums. And it's about delivering the same vision, but just in a slightly different way. And then you have Mark Schusterman on your keyboards, okay? Again, he is bringing buoyancy. His skill at being able to, the energy that he produces whilst playing, and actually he moves out often to be able to get the audience involved. There's usually a tambourine there, okay? So that autonomy in being able to move position is because there is a freedom to remain as an individual even in a team. And actually all of these individuals are talented and capable of doing solo work, yet they choose to be part of the Night Sweats, and that is because of the leadership delivered by Nathaniel Rateliff. And he recognises their value. You know, he said it has to be worth being in the band, and he wants and he needs everyone to feel like they're part of this band. I want them to feel like they're contributing artistically and emotionally to the experience of writing and creating this music. Yet it wasn't always that way. When he first started, there was an element of control. The first album was written by Nathaniel Rateliff, and all of the rest of it was played. Okay, so that at that point was a single vision. Over time, as they've gotten to know each other and understand where artistically and creatively they've got strengths, they all contribute to the music. And so now it has become a shared vision, a shared goal that they're all striving towards. But because they're allowed this input, there's a greater commitment. And because of the recognition, there's a feeling of security within the band. They have a place and they belong. So take away any one of these elements and the balance within the Night Sweats changes. So it then comes down to authenticity. You know, Nathaniel Rateliff has said that every single bit of music, the lyrics, the music that he writes, there is an emotional investment from him. But he doesn't make it so rigid that you and I or the band members have to feel the same connection emotionally. There's freedom there to put your own interpretation into the music. And that actually allows, again, for this element of individuality and autonomy within this team. So success, what is success to this team? Well, originally it was to be able to go away and support your family, but they found now a winning formula that sits well with the audience, and it would be very easy to take the elements of that winning formula and just churn out something that meant nothing. But I somehow suspect that that doesn't sit right within this band, because the authenticity means that everything they produce has some sort of meaning. And so now success is perhaps more intrinsic. It is about that satisfaction in your job. And it's evident when you watch them work, when they perform, how much they enjoy being there. You know, the fact that they interact with each other and not just the audience. That there is genuine joy that radiates out from them when they perform. But that isn't to underestimate the hard work that is put in behind the scenes, the long days, the long nights, the travel, the writer's block when it comes to having to write lyrics. But the product that they push out consistently is high quality, and the audience benefits from that. And in that way, when we apply it to teamwork, when we put on a front and we deliver our product, we need to work together so that those on the receiving end feel the same sense of satisfaction from the experience or the product that they are on the receiving end of. So in summary, what themes have we covered? Well, it's about being vulnerable. So it's okay as a leader to go, do you know what? I don't have that skill. But what I will do is I will bring people in that are just going to buoy me up and actually develop me. I want to be a lifelong learner. It's about being authentic. The products that you put out there, you know, should be a representation of who you are, and you should be proud of what you're doing. It's about inclusion and making sure that everybody within that group feels that they are a member and they belong. And it's about allowing for autonomy. Everybody has a different skill that they're going to bring. If you dampen that down, you're just going to have a group of clones of you behind you that's got no individuality. There's no creativity there. You want them to be able to speak up and put new ideas forward. So that is my take of applying leadership to Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats. I am not connected to Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats in any way whatsoever, so if any of what I've said today is wrong and you know different to me, just pop it in the comments below. Similarly, always happy to have feedback, pop your comments below and I'll gladly take it. So thanks very much, hopefully see you in a couple of weeks' time. Bye!